Welcome to graduation for the class of 2023. Before we begin our program, I have a few housekeeping items. First, please make sure that you turn off all electronic devices or silence them now. If you could, please move towards the center so that we can seat as many people in our chairs as possible. And in the unlikely event that there is an emergency, please use the exit doors on the north and the south side of the gym to exit the building. Good evening, families, friends, and guests of the class of 2023. We are pleased to welcome you back to our beautiful campus for this year's graduation after a long 4-year hiatus. I am Jenny Klein, the Executive Director of Education at Peak to Peak. On behalf of our faculty, staff, I welcome all of you to this exciting event as we recognize and celebrate the many exemplary accomplishments of Peak to Peak's 19th graduating class. I want to acknowledge that we have graduates who have been with us from kindergarten to 12th grade. These students are designated with black stoles over their robes. Congratulations to these students for being the Peak to Peak pioneers. And congratulations to all of our seniors for your truly impressive accomplishments. Seniors, we are so proud of you. We are pleased to have 2 honored guests from the Boulder Valley School District with us here today. Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Laura De La Cruz. And Board of Education member, Kitty Sargent. We appreciate that you have joined us for this special event. On the stage with me today are members of our fabulous administrative team. Kyle Matthews, high school principal. Josh Benson, high school assistant principal. Melissa Christensen, elementary school principal. And Clara Quinlan, middle school principal. Also here with us are members of our Peak to Peak Board of Directors, Shirag Shah, Wesley Kirk, Brian Boonstra, Evelyn Grady, and Marcus Watkins. Thank you for your service to Peak to Peak. Each of you is a valuable member of our school community and your impact is great. I'm pleased to welcome all of our guests, including our incredible faculty and staff. Thank you for being here this evening and sharing this special time with our seniors. And now, if everyone would please stand for the national anthem. It is now my honor to introduce our high school principal, Mr. Kyle Matthews.
Seniors, this is the last time I'll be addressing you as students of Peak to Peak. Shortly, you'll become students at a diversity of colleges and universities, students of the world. Please take a few moments to reflect on the long road that each of you has followed to get to this day. Reflect on the sacrifices that others have made for you, parents, family members, teachers, coaches, peers, to help you see your dreams come to fruition. Even though this is your day, let's not forget to take a moment to celebrate the community of supporters who've gone to great lengths to help you graduate today. All right, we're going to do something a little different for my speech this year. And no, this was not done by ChatGPT, as you will soon find out. Here's to the class of 2023. Always remember what you want and who you are destined to be. Don't sell yourselves short or end up in court. Yikes! Be you and don't shy away from it. It's the last dance. You survived COVID, RSV, the flu, and more. You made it through Omicron, online learning, and you got out of doors. Even in the worst situations, this class looks for solutions to tackle our challenges over dirty plastics and all kinds of pollution. Problem solvers, you are. Now you face an even more daunting task to redefine yourselves in your life ahead. Shake off those bad habits. There's no need to dread. You've been epic thus far. Remember, you have earned your place at the table, and that your voice is one of bravery and always being able to lead your family to its next great iteration. It's time to be a producer, yes, you, and not just a beautifully chaotic consumer. Do your own darn laundry and cook for your boomers. Clean up that room and stop spreading rumors. TikTok. Consider the traditions that have come to define you. Decide if you will follow that path or redesign them more true. Take care of your siblings and make a plan to communicate. Don't leave your folks hanging or with too many texts inundate. In the end, you've come such a long way to get to this place and to see this day. Be proud of yourselves and those around you who helped you get away. Embrace your mistakes and what might embarrass or make others grin. You are the best masterpiece that anyone could imagine. Congratulations to the class of 2023 for breaking the mold. It's been an honor and a privilege to see your lives unfold, rooting for our teams, our classes, our staff. You were oh so bold. We'll miss you. One last thing to do, and it's simply a must. Let's start turning some tassels and kicking up dust. Welcome to the world. Everywhere you will go or bust. Thank you, class of 2023. Senior Matthews, it's your time. Please come to the stage. A big round of applause for Senor.
I have to have my props ready. Buenas tardes y feliz viernes. Yeah. Happy Friday indeed. That will be the extent of our Spanish, unfortunately. And those I have taught may have to get used to my voice in English over the next few minutes. Greetings, class of 2023. I am truly honored to speak to you on the eve of your life after Peak to Peak. As you are also familiar with, we will start with a do now, some connection time, a short lesson, and a closure. I'll make it fast as I can. As our do now, I would like you all to tell the person on each side of you something that you appreciate about them. Let's have everyone in this gym participate. If you are unsure of who someone is, introduce yourself. Tell them something about yourself that they might appreciate if they knew you. Don't be bashful. About 20 seconds. I will ring a bell. It'll be your last bell you hear at Peak to Peak to bring you back. Again, something you appreciate about the person on each side of you. Please begin. Thank you for that. Give me time to, I guess I was playing bowling with these candles in front of me, so I won't touch the podium. Something I would love for you to take away from today is the importance of looking for good in others, taking the time to notice and honor those around you. It will help both you and them feel happier. Everyone has something to offer, regardless of their apparent similarities and differences. Next, for some brief connection time, I'd like to express my gratitude to these amazing students seated in front of me. And I'm going to add one just right now because I realized as I watched you walking in, some amazing artists, and I'm like, oh, I didn't give any gratitude to our amazing artists that have put up such amazing art on the walls. And I've just been blessed to enjoy. We have this whole community as we have gotten back in person and seen your art. So thank you, artists, too. Thank you, class of 2023. For graciously participating in online classes most of the time, where you met me and most of my colleagues here today through a computer screen to start your sophomore year. That was difficult. I can still remember getting needed encouragement myself from a few of you during my office hours, and that meant a lot. What resiliency, adaptation, and self-motivation this class has already had to show in order to succeed in your unique and challenging high school years. Bravo, seriously, give yourselves a hand. Thank you, class of 2023, for the leadership you have shown this school as we got back in person, as you helped our spaces ring again with beautiful music, with impressive theatrical productions, with spirited sports competitions, with our inaugural Peak Week experiences, and last but not least, a rare and thorough demonstration on how to dominate not once, but twice at the Puma Bowl. Thank you, class of 2023, for all the passion you have brought to these buildings, for the care you have shown your classmates and staff here at Peak to Peak, for helping graying people like me stay with the times. I now know that I can call these my dogs, that things like final exams can be ratchet, while games, concerts, and plays can be hype, that prom night might involve things considered bougie, the people that care about you are also likely part of your ops, and that, bruh, I can only hope to slay these last few minutes with you. Now for the mini lesson of the day. Really, it's just a few pieces of advice I have to offer, and I hope some of these strike a chord and reverberate in some way in your life. I'll break them down into 5 life hacks. Number 5, you are the only you. You are the best you, and the more comfortable you are with that, the more others will appreciate it. And spend time with those that do appreciate you, that help you feel and be your best. That rather than blaming others and constant negativity, are problem solvers and constructively help in challenging situations that fill you with positive energy, passion, kindness, love, and laughter, that can challenge you to think differently and that are honest in all times. Number 4, don't compare yourself to others. Life is not fair, and you are not others. If you look for everything to be exactly fair and equal, you will continually be disappointed. That is not to say you should not fight against the injustices and inequalities we see around us. Quite the contrary. I just hope for you all that you don't constantly look around you and compare their situation to yours, wanting life to be fair. And we never know the full reality of those around us. Everyone in every situation is unique and different. Shoot to be your best and your best self and treat others kindly. Always, no exceptions. It's a choice you get to make each and every day. Number 3, take time to develop your passions, something that fuels you from the inside, that fills your cup. Rather than perseverating on doing things right, focus on doing the right things. How are you spending your time? Working hard for something you are passionate about can be more fulfilling than stressful. Try something different, difficult, new. Take responsible risks, get out of your comfort zone, embrace failure and setbacks, and continue to get up and try again. Discomfort can be a sign of a healthy challenge. Maybe you'll develop a passion, or at least be more ready to answer that door when an opportunity knocks. Number 2, try not to freak out when you're feeling alone. This feeling is normal, especially as you open this next chapter in life. Sometimes you may feel super connected like never before, and the next minute, alone like never before. It is important to develop and work on your self-reliance, independence, and healthy techniques for coping with stress, sadness, or anxiety. Try new strategies and figure out what works for you. It could be time outside, meditation, mindfulness, reading, exercising, writing, praying, singing, playing an instrument, listening to music, art, animal time, or a mixture of those or other ideas. And remember to eat and sleep well. Everything is more difficult when we are hungry, tired, or sick. And number 1, find and express gratitude regularly. Recognize your gifts and blessings in life. Look to be thankful to others. Appreciate what those have to offer and help them feel that appreciation. I'd like to give one example of that. 13 years ago, as some of you know, I suddenly lost my dad and uncle in a plane accident. When I arrived at my classroom door that first day back to work, it was covered in what appeared to be hundreds of sticky notes expressing sympathy from students here at Peak to Peak. I read every one of them before I began teaching that day. One in particular stuck out and not only helped me get through that day, but through the rest of that difficult year. It read, "The world is filled with people who change our lives. Thank you for continuing to change our lives in the face of loss of those who have changed yours. We're all here for you." That brief 3-sentence note of appreciation and thanks at a time when I was emotionally wrecked and only expecting sympathy or pity truly helped me to get to work every morning. Let's be that light of encouragement to those around us. Now, finally, as happens from time to time, I've struggled thinking of a meaningful, appropriate closure. I wanted to leave you with something memorable that acknowledges the nervousness or butterflies you might feel developing your dreams and moving forward, many of you to unfamiliar places. More than anything, I want to wish you smiles and fun times ahead. So, here goes. I cannot believe this is what I landed on. Something I thought I'd never do again. You can thank or curse Mr. Benson for the original challenge and a couple of your classmates who asked for a repeat this evening. Sending you all my love and best wishes. It has been such a pleasure getting to teach, coach, watch, and get to know this special class.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on.
Who's following that? Come on. Students, you can follow that. Now let's welcome our guest speakers, Amanda Skinner and Lucas Briggs, to the stage. Come on up, seniors.
Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Dr. Seuss. How can you capture a moment forever? Keep this in mind. Hey guys, I'm Amanda Skinner. I've been at Peak to Peak since first grade and I've made so many memories here. Back to my question about capturing a moment for forever. Well, there's no right way. Scientifically, thanks Ms. Flynn, every time you recall a memory, it changes just a little. But if you think a lot like I do, you can't really trust your memory. After 12 years of school here, I have a lot of memories. Even if they aren't perfect, I'm going to share some of my clearest memories with you. Second grade, digging in the sandbox with my sister, looking for gold-painted rocks. The hoedown. Fifth grade, playing lacrosse in the quad after my fifth grade graduation. I remember feeling so old. The first day of middle school, during the assembly. 8th grade, in my red dress, as I graduate middle school and walk across the stage in the gym, this gym. 10th grade, doing a chemistry experiment in my room due to online school. 11th grade, the PAC retreat, in which I met a ton of new people and had an awesome welcome back to real life in-person school. 12th grade, prom and after prom and having so much fun. There is something universal about these feelings, the emotions I felt. Think of how you are feeling right now. Are you happy, sad, scared? Think of a time you have felt this emotion before. What comes to mind for me is a roller coaster. Why? Because I am terrified right now. I am so scared. That is okay though, because I felt this before, and after a while, I will get off this scary roller coaster and everything will be okay again. After time though, emotions will get conflicted. There are a lot of times I've felt fear and will feel it again. How am I supposed to differentiate between the Velocicoaster at Universal Studios and a graduation speech? This is why I take pictures. Pictures just take a moment and keep it forever. Something physical, something tangible that won't disappear. I have film negatives with me. Now these are waterproof, pretty tangible, and pretty flammable both ways to keep a memory. Coolest part is they can also be made into a digital copy. Let's see what this strip of negatives has on it. I have to look at the light. Okay, it's a picture from Columbia this year. We went to Columbia. That was pretty fun. Anyways, I'm gonna take a couple pictures so this memory can't be forgotten. So if you know me, you know I like 0.5s on the phone. If you don't know what a 0.5 is, it's when like you zoom out the camera extra and then it creates like a funny angle. So I have my phone here and we're gonna take a 0.5. So everyone in this section smile and I'll do a couple and then I have to double check and make sure that my hat isn't in the way. Okay, ready? Okay, let's look. These are awesome. These are going on the Instagram. These are awesome. Okay, and one last picture. I have my film camera here. I actually brought up my film camera. So let's take a picture. Yeah, you gotta wind it up. That was my shock too. Okay, but just looking at a picture isn't gonna stare at a memory if there's no emotion. This is why I listen to music. It conveys the emotions with words that I feel deep in my heart. Maybe the answer to my question is a mix. This is why I take pictures. This is why I listen to music, photos and emotions. How do I sort all of these? With albums, super simple, I know. I sort everything into folders and playlists. I can't wait for graduation and my playlist 150. These two immediately bring up memories and songs and emotions which help me never lose a memory. Never rely on one idea. You can't just do one thing. Make a mix out of life. This quote is from Star Trek. Because survival is insufficient. I've also never seen Star Trek. We need to continue to reach and strive for personal growth and do things that make us go above the stars because survival is insufficient. Make memories because you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Thank you.
All right, now I know what you may be thinking. It's 5 p.m. and I want to get some dinner. What's this guy got to tell me that's so important? I swear I'll be succinct. What I want to talk to you about are 3 powers that I think we've learned from high school. And I'm not saying we're going to go web slinging around Brooklyn, but 3 personal powers that we can take to college and our life beyond. They spell ABC: accept, belong, and compete. Power 1, accept. You may not realize it, but through this school, we've become well-educated, well-integrated people. Our school hosts awesome student unions for people of different nationality, different ethnicity, and different sexuality. We have an awesome counseling team that works with every student in order to get them into wherever they want to be after high school, college or otherwise. Oh man, but the thing is, we may not always agree. Some may choose to walk out and others don't. Some may choose to join certain unions and others don't. And some may not be so keen on the cafeteria mac and cheese, even though it's my favorite. Point being, it's through our differences that when we work together, we build a stronger community. And we can take experiences from people with different backgrounds to grow stronger than we were before. And even though most of us have lived here for years and years, if not our entire lives, we're about to fan across the country. Some people to the East Coast, all the way to the West Coast, some to other countries entirely. But we know how to accept the people and the situations around us. And we will have to accept that mommy won't do our dishes anymore. Power number 2, belong. We belong to teams, sports, friend groups, clubs. But I think what we've learned through the 4 years here is that we have each other. I'm not saying we're all going to marry each other, but if you think about it, for the rest of your life, you can come to this school and find a place that welcomes you. There will always be someone in this room today who will lend a hand if you fall down. I'm sure Mr. Matthews didn't put up with the devious licks trend in the bathroom just to abandon us now that we have a stupid looking hat. Power number 3, compete. Whether through academics or athletics, if there's one thing I've learned about Peak to Peak students, they do not back down. Some kids take 5 AP classes, the requirement for like the most prestigious thingamabob, and then they keep taking more for no reason. Like you're not going to major in like 5 things, but they decide to do it anyway. I'm looking at you, Anish. Don't tell him I said that. And then also, Reese DiGiacomo, like an hour and a half ago, was running at the state track meet and had to drive here as fast as possible. Y'all are just crazy people, every one of you. I mean, I could probably say a crazy thing about all of you if I had time. But what's important is that you know to get ahead, you have to take that first step. And we're about to take the first step in a very grand juncture of our lives. But we've taken these steps before. We've signed up for classes. We've opened our worldview. We've done things that we didn't know we could do before. But there's a reason I say we've learned how to compete and not that we've learned how to win. Because we can't control everything. We will lose and we will fail and we will be told no. But we've learned the courage to hear yes. We've had the strength to fall down 7 times and get up 8. Raise your hand if during high school you took a class that you didn't know you would succeed in. Raise your hand if during high school you failed a test. The point is, we challenge ourselves to grow. And guess what, guys? I had 3 body paragraphs, but this is an English class, so there's no conclusion. Sorry, Miss Amadon.
Nice job. I'll give us more of a conclusion here. On behalf of Boulder Valley School District, I now present the class of 2023. They have met all the requirements for Peak to Peak High School to graduate. And at this time, I would like to invite the graduates to come forward and receive their diplomas.
Ready? Lila Alexis Allen, Peak Scholar with distinction. Molly Grace Anderson. Tatiana Melena Anderson. Sitlali Giovanna Arriaga Moreno. Oh, that was nice. Emily Marie Asper, Peak Scholar with distinction.
Okay, all right.
Bethany Sharon Bell. Shreya Reddy Vidala, Peak Scholar with distinction. Yashaswi Bista, Peak Scholar with distinction. Francesca Keely Bolt, Peak Scholar with distinction. McKenna Lee Bolton, Peak Scholar. Hunter James Spinell, Peak Scholar with honors. Brady Taylor Bowman. John Robert Brandstander. Pushpaman Barar, Peak Scholar with distinction. Morgan Claire Brazier, Peak Scholar. Benjamin Elias Brende. Lucas Stephen Briggs, Peak Scholar with distinction. Tate Charles Browder, Peak Scholar with distinction. Haley Marie Buck, Peak Scholar with honors. Alexander Henry Boos, Peak Scholar with honors. Devin Griffin Cahoon. Elena Francis Marion Carpenter. Diego Robert David Carrier. William Liu Cheng, Peak Scholar with honors. Piper Wenli Chen. Austin Wade Cook, Peak Scholar with distinction. you want me to take? Leah Catherine Cook, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Gavin James Kerwick. Sanab Raj Daha, Peak Scholar with Honors. Zachary Graham Danzo, Peak Scholar with Honors. Jack Santiago Davila, Peak Scholar. Samantha Francis DiCrescenzo, Peak Scholar with Honors. Madeline Marie Deerking, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Reese Washburn DeGiacomo, Peak Scholar. Santali Sage Donahue, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Lucas Alexandra Dotson, Peak Scholarship with Distinction. Kira Elena Debrava, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Alexandra Henry Drskevich, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Isaac Jeffrey Drupa. Shua Danielle, Shang Edmonds, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Chloe Renee Eisen. Isabel Rain Enton, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Alexandra Jade Flint, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Caitlin Frank, Peak Scholar with Honors. Riley Cullen Fuller. Mia Hackle. Michael Peter Hambach, Peak Scholar. Devin Thomas Hom. Simon Carol Harrington. Caleb Alexandra Harris, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Kayla Brooke Hendershot. Itzel Rocio Hernandez Chavez. Ella Nicole Hay, Peak Scholar. Sophie Sarah Hay, Peak Scholar. Athena Dayanara Heasterman. Josiah Michael Hoffman, Peak Scholar with Honors. Simon Alexander Holstein, Peak Scholar with distinction. Logan Jeremiah Hughes, Peak Scholar with honors. Gregory Jesus Jamie, Peak Scholar with distinction. Ella Malaya Jamse, Peak Scholar with honors. Pranaya Piyush Kansara, Peak Scholar with distinction. Suman Samuel Kim, Peak Scholar. Gabrielle Sophia Kirk. Emily Colby Kirkfield, Peak Scholar with distinction. Joshua Cooper Kirkfield, Peak Scholar with distinction. Riley Marie Lackey. Isaac Caldwell Langer, Peak Scholar with distinction.
Samara Latif, Peak Scholar with honors. Leah Elizabeth Laguerre, Peak Scholar with distinction. Tenzin Lanze, Peak Scholar with honors. Matthew Sealing Liao. Matthew Liang, Peak Scholar with honors. Eva Marie Locke, Peak Scholar. Melissa Lopez. Magdalena Sadie McAlpine, Peak Scholar with distinction. Sonali Cynthia Macias, Peak Scholar with honors. Vasilisa Catherine Malinky, Peak Scholar with distinction. Nihar Mahesh Manangi, Peak Scholar with distinction. Helena Gail Maxwell, Peak Scholar with distinction. Parker William McDonald. Riley Rose McKinney. Andrew Christopher Mahalko. Samuel Lee Mitchell, Peak Scholar with distinction. Pravar Raja Mokhtan. Anish Mova, Peak Scholar with distinction. Maya Natrajan. Anne Grace Lee Nevadomsky, Peak Scholar with distinction. William Mason Riley Nix. Christina Anna Ostaszewski. Faith Elizabeth Petticord. Grant Michael Petticord. Olivia Angela Perez. Sydney Caroline Parencheril, Peak Scholar. Chase Taylor Peterson. Andrew John Plute, Peak Scholar with distinction. Hayden Yorick Rasmussen. Caitlin Elizabeth Riemann, Peak Scholar with distinction. Mia Francesca Retta. Jaden Kaylee Reese, Peak Scholar with distinction. Emily Grace Ripito. Ethan Douglas Roeder. Avery Elizabeth Roof, Peak Scholar with distinction. Nathan Scott Salem. Maximilian Rafael Oliver Salvati. Abraham Alberto Sanchez. Robert Valeri Schreiner, Peak Scholar with distinction. Daniel Carl Schulteis, Peak Scholar with distinction. Maya Margaret Schweiger. Nirjala Raksha Sharma. Christian Francis Shattuck. Natalie Jane Sievers, Peak Scholar with distinction. Nevea Antoinette Silvera. Amanda Kate Skinner, Peak Scholar with distinction. Megan Isabel Skinner, Peak Scholar with distinction. Samuel Isaac Spots, Peak Scholar with distinction. Nathaniel Jeffrey Starbuck, Peak Scholar with distinction. Finn David Stevens, Peak Scholar with Honors. Kayla Nicole Taylor. Ryan Thomas Taylor, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Margot Kyoko Theronde. Noelle Elizabeth Thompson. Lauren Meredith Thornton, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Zoe Rose Treeweiler, Peak Scholar with Honors. Nathan Andre True. Monique Nicole Valdez. Luis Daniel Vargas. Ryan David Wallace, Peak Scholar with Honors. Cassia Sophia Watson, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Aurora Michaela West, Peak Scholar with Honors. Sydney Veda West. Jackson Bryce Whipple. Jessica Marie Wilcox, Peak Scholar with Distinction. Owen Rose Wyatt. Julian Cade Zerwick Reardon, Peak Scholar. Fire up there.
Now it's time to hear from our choir. Choir, come on up.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't fear the fall. Hope when the water fits, you built a wall.
Hope when the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
You'll say
Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when the sun goes down, hope you raise your cup.
Thank you. It was fantastic. Well done. I'd now like to welcome Josh Kirkfield to the stage to read Oh, the Places You'll Go.
It's a lot of ducks up here. 29 times. 29 times his first book was rejected from publication. 29 different publishing houses. 29 times he was told he wasn't good enough. 29 times he was told that he would never be a writer. His name is Theodore S. Geiser, but you may know him better as Dr. Seuss. He never gave up on his dream, and look where it got him. He sold almost 250 million copies of his works, translations in 15 different languages. And so, it's truly my honor standing here now in front of you, continuing a tradition of reading one of his many books, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Congratulations! Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. You look up and down streets. Look them over with care. About some, you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hack and cracks howl. Onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guarantee. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Olive and Alan O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So, get on your way. 29 times he was told he would never be a writer, but he had a dream and believed in himself. And just like Dr. Seuss, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. Congratulations to the beautiful, amazing, lovely, fantabulous class of 2023.
This ceremony represents the end of your high school career and the beginning of the rest of your lives. The beginning of new relationships. They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Well, this is your first step. Would the class of 2023 please rise? Don't drop your ducks. Now, please turn your tassels in recognition of your official graduation. Congratulations, class! And we're waiting for the exit music. Hey, where's that exit music? Come on, there it